Welcome into the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, where this team, at the midway point with a new head coach in Madison Boston, made some changes, put together a good run, and shut down their division rivals in the last couple games, securing their spot in the playoffs, where today we face off against the Los Angeles Chargers, a new level of opponent. And the media definitely took this week to rag on our Jaguars, a losing team making the playoffs. But they did give Coach Boston credit, turning this team around from a tumultuous start to the season. As for our opponents today in the Chargers, facing off against Kansas City, it's good that they do even make it to the playoffs. Justin Herbert, over 4,100 passing yards, 31 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, completing 63% of his throws. Rushing the ball is Gus Edwards, who had a little under 1,000, averaging 4 yards a carry, 14 touchdowns on the year. Expect Justin Herbert to scramble when he needs to. He did have 5 additional rushing touchdowns this year. Receiving, DJ Chark. He goes over 1,200 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. Ladd McConkey, a little under 900, 2 touchdowns. But they go Jaden Hurst, third most on this team, very close to that of McConkey and Chark. He had just under 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, and Joshua Palmer had 5 more touchdowns. Up front, they keep their quarterback clean. Joe Alt, the rookie, gave up the most amount of sacks on this team, and that was just 7. And defensively, Junior Colson had 107 tackles on the year. They got after plays in the backfield. Joey Bosa, 13 TFLs, Poona Ford with 11. And in a career resurgence, Khalil Mack, 15 and a half sacks on the season. Bosa and Agba both with 7. They also pick off some passes. Christian Fulton had 4, 3 for Asante Samuel Jr. And Dicker the kicker has hit 88% of his attempts on the year, 100 for the extra points. And for our Jags, we have gotten back some players, but we are missing the defensive leader in Oluokun. With a torn labrum, he won't be back unless we make the Super Bowl. Chargers, however, are also missing their defensive leader in Junior Colson. He broke his finger, and he won't be back unless they make it to the AFC Championship. But to help bolster our front line, Mitch Morse has returned from his injury. We saw great play from Luke Fortner, and if either Cleveland or Little do not perform, Fortner could definitely step in for him. And to help celebrate the wacky way in which the Jaguars made it to the postseason, they will be rocking one wacky uniform combo as we're underway. Postseason time here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers returning this one down the middle, taking it to the 27 was Justin Herbert, and the offense of the Chargers will take the field. Our Jaguar defense at time this year showed true dominance. Will they be able to carry that on in the biggest part of their season? Well, Ladd McConkey gets the catch in the first down, play 1. Now, despite however this postseason goes, it's a great step forward here for the Jaguars to make it to this point after such a rough start. Down the middle, Gus Edwards, he shakes a tackle. Muma will eventually bring him down. He will be getting the start in the base packages, but when we drop to nickel, it will be Edmonds playing that spot. 2nd and 6. Herbert has motion right side. Looking to pass the ball to the outside left, open. Johnson comes up short and staying on his feet. Palmer will pick up as much as he can. And carries the Chargers down to the 38, their plus side. With a heavy set here, 2 tight ends go to left-hand side. Stretch to the outside, Armstead all over it, loss of 3. We're going to need him to continue to put together some big plays like that. He hasn't quite played fantastic this year. Haven't heard much from the true DTs. As Herbert having to bail to the outside. Smith, he provided the pressure, but they left the tight end open. Justin Herbert kept his eyes downfield, and Hayden Hurst, he finds the end zone. What a play from Herbert. Chargers now up 7-0 as our offense takes the field, and they need to answer. A hot start We start with ETN, and he's maybe back to the line. He's been an integral part of this team, and we're going to need him to have a big performance. 2nd and 11, double A gap look here from the Chargers defense. Get motion on the right-hand side. Lawrence, he steps up in the pocket. He's going to take a lane and pick up the first down. Well, his passing game has really been all over the place. The rushing for him has been fantastic. Expect more of that here in the postseason. Play action. Looking downfield for Ingram, who gets the grab down to the 39. That is what we've got to have from our tight end. And in fact, it keeps this game tight end heavy. And to just continue in that step, it's a 3 tight end set here for the Jaguars, as they will look to pass the ball under pressure. Spinning ball pops out and recovered. Number 96, Emmanuel Ogbah. It was Khalil Mack providing the pressure. Lawrence turned to throw. He had a dump off, but he didn't have time to throw it. Chargers take over with a heavy set. Throwing it downfield, and great catch, Ladd McConkey. Both he and Ringo dove out for it, but it's the Chargers who get the better play, as it's been the case so far. 1st and 10. They go down the middle. Edwards, not much open space. He will pick up 3. Where Jags are going to find success today, they got to make this Chargers team one-sided, and then in that same step, make plays when that does happen. Bring the blitz here, and sack coming off the edge. It's Tavon Walker. He's had a fantastic season, and he's well outshined Hines Allen opposite side of him. Need both to come through here, especially with a 3rd and 12. Walker pushing back, and it's Eric Armstead who hits it. It will be a massive loss. 4th and 20 back at the 48, and should be a punt here for the Chargers. That's a massive response here from the defense coming off that Lawrence turnover. Got to correct it. Got to put it past you. 1st and 10. They start the stretch. Right-hand side. Etienne, he finds a lane, but not finding the block was Kirk. If he gets a hand there on James, well, it might be a touchdown call, but 1st and 10 of the 25, we will take it. Dropping back to throw, and downfield, well off the mark is Lawrence. Honestly, they could have just let him keep running and stopped covering him after 10 yards, because that ball would never have been caught. 2nd and 10, hard count from Lawrence. No one jumps. Takes his time thereafter. Make sure everyone is nice and set up. Right side, and finds Kirk, who gets clotheslined, but somehow he defies gravity and gets the first. Well, if they make another Matrix movie, they might just have to go bring in Kirk. 1st and 10. Handing this one off Etienne. He has a lane left side. Picking up 5. Offense doing well here, coming off that bad last drive. It's a tight look here from both sides. Play action goes Etienne, taking a jump ball to Kirk. I think they fooled all parties. Thought that was going to be a deep ball, but no, it was a deep comeback. 3rd and 5 as that ball hit the turf. Coming across, he's got an open target. Christian Kirk this time, he's got the first down to the 47. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Chargers in front. Big plays made both sides, but Jags yet to find the end zone. And as they have a fresh set of downs here to start the second quarter, I'm sure they're looking to quickly change that. Etienne cuts left and takes a couple shots for 2. Of course, he's put in work both on the ground and through the air this year, similarly to that of Lawrence. With a 2nd and 8 spread look here. Letting the play develop a little, maybe too much, and throwing it out late. Had 3 linemen standing there and 3 rushers in his face. Makes it a 3rd and 8. Hard count again for Lawrence. No one jumps. Dropping back now, rolling to the right-hand side. And he's getting sacked. No one got open. Ogbah will drop him, and it will be a punt for the Jags. Well, for an offense that keeps making big plays, they've got to finish off their drives. It's back over to the defense to try to keep this one a 1-score game. Motion goes the fullback as they hand it off. Gus Edwards, he's stopped in the backfield. It's Walker and Armstead. We talked about Armstead needing to have a big game. Well, so far he seems poised. With a 2nd and 11 following that TFL. Herbert looks to throw with a dig to the right-hand side and a short gain of 2. Jarrian Jones was all over that one. Leaving a 3rd and 9. Bunch to the left-hand side here for Herbert as he goes downfield and Ringo breaks it up. He tried to find Ladd McConkey. It will be a quick stop and another quick punt. Now the defense for the Jaguars are keeping them well in this game. It could have been a runaway score by this point. But they got to find the end zone. ETN takes the stretch for a limited gain, plus a flag comes down in the backfield, and this one will back them up. And get Ezra Cleveland with the hold. You can hear some boos coming down from the stands. 1st and 18. As they set up the halfback screen here, ETN tries to cut back towards the blockers, but it's going to limit his gain. It's actually Eli Apple who gets the tackle, and we all know what kind of postseasons he's had. 2nd and 16. 2 to the right-hand side, and throwing just out of a sack. Everyone was sat in man coverage. Hard to tell who that one was intended for. But it does bring up a 3rd and 16. A spread empty look here for Lawrence. As he's got a wide open Evan Ingram. Puts a nice loft on it. Comes up a little bit short, but good enough. 1st down for the Jags. As we're inside 4.5 minutes, I'm sure they're fine letting this one run all the way down to the end of the half. Tying this thing up and starting fresh in the 2nd. A motion out. Brenton Strange, and a good set of lead blocks, but it might have been a little too good. Another flag down. By the looks of it, they're going to get Antone Harrison with that holding from the opposite side that play was ran. So 1st and 19 with it. Bunch to the right-hand side for Lawrence. Has a quick stop across the middle. Gabe Davis, he had a great game to end the season. He gets his first grab there, makes it 2nd and 13, still behind the chains. With 2 spread either side, motion left side for Lawrence. Letting this play develop. He looks to tuck and run, picks up a pair of blocks from Ingram. Lawrence ends up taking the contact, but down inside the 30. Now he has been shaken up the last couple weeks. We'll see how much of that contact he continues to take. Throwing right side, diving Christian Kirk. What a grab. Jaguars down to the 6. Though I will be that guy if Lawrence takes a little bit off of that. Catch that on the run, it's a touchdown. Instead, ETN, he cuts back right down to the 3. He's averaging just over 4 yards a carry as they're set up at the 3, 2nd and goal inside the 2-minute warning. Jaguars, they got to find the end zone here, and Lawrence will take it himself, scrambling in. We've got a tie ball game here. 1:55 left in the first half. Lawrence and the Jags finally capitalize on an offensive possession. But did they leave Herbert too much time? 3 timeouts as they take a shot to the sideline here. McConkey chopped out. Good tackle, Ringo. We'll make sure that clock is rolling here. Again, all timeouts for both teams. As they're looking to air this one out under pressure, shakes that tackle. Lloyd falls over downfield. That opens the door. Edmonds comes running over and slides down with Herbert. Now that should have been a sack instead. About field goal range as they bring the blitz, finding an open pass across the middle to about the 24. And an injury, looks like McGovern down here for the Chargers. He'll end up heading to the sideline. Will be a timeout. We'll see how much, if at all, that does affect this Chargers line. With a spread look here, they bring the blitz but pick it all up. Wide open, McConkey, touchdown, Chargers. Answer back in a ferocious fashion. Make it 14-7, taking about a minute off the clock. With a solid return by Duvernay. We're set up at the 31, 40 seconds left. We've got timeouts of our own. Can Lawrence make something happen here? Well, he goes to scramble, weaving, gets a nice stiff arm into midfield where that first timeout is called. 50 yards rushing for Lawrence on just 4 attempts. And of course, he also ran in our one and only touchdown of the day. 33 seconds. We need about the 37 for a safe field goal range here for Cam Little. As Lawrence, he bails to the outside, and he finds Kirk, who gets the catch, breaks the tackle. Will be a second timeout called. What a great play there from wide receiver 1. It wasn't a perfect throw from Lawrence either. He's making some changes here. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. ETN in the backfield. And he's chucking this one up for Thomas, who brings it in. 2 touchdowns inside about a minute of time, keeping this one level. as we hit halftime. And Coach Boston has got to love that answer. That takes us in here 14-14. Both quarterbacks show off all their talent there to finish off that 2-minute warning. Defenses showed a lot of promise as well. Overall, this one has put together a great performance. Taking a look at the break here, we don't have an update for you on the Steelers and Bills or Jets and Ravens. But as we do get back to our game, just keep an eye down below at that score tracker for any updates. But it will be the Jaguars offense starting out with the ball. In the pistol set, they get motion Brenton Strange to the right-hand side. Hand this one on ETN, who finds a gap bursting for a gain of 7. Anytime he can find some space, he is a threat to take it all the way. 2nd and 3 following that nice gain on play 1. ETN cuts back down the middle and will pick up that first down. It's all about that second effort. 1st and 10 for the Jaguars as they go RPO, still handing this one off. ETN bursts to the outside, outrunning James and getting out of bounds with another first down rush. This year, the second half of games have really all been about ETN, and that's where the Jaguars have found many of their victories. Tossing this one downfield, Christian Kirk tipped away. Looked like it was open for a second. Asante Samuel Jr. cleans it up. And it's a 2nd and 10. Back under center goes Lawrence. ETN cuts to the left-hand side and picks up 4. Bernard cuts that run a little bit short for ETN, who was looking to bounce it. Had the lead block in Strange as well. But it'll be 3rd and 6. Lawrence leaks to the left-hand side and slides down with the first. Tap down. Was doing a great job of, if the play doesn't look like it's opening up at first, find something that is. As they look to pass the ball here, waiting. Back to the outside goes Kirk, and it's tipped away. However, a flag is down, and they're going to get holding. Mitch Moore's back from injury, the culprit there. Might have also had a defensive pass interference, but they do not call it. It's 1st and 20 here for the Jaguars as they're letting this play develop. Taking a shot downfield, wide open. They find Ingram, but another flag down in the backfield will be a 2nd straight holding. They're going to get Anton Harrison with his 2nd. So make it 3rd and 20 instead at the midfield line. Lawrence dropping back to throw. He's got a target downfield. Christian Kirk does not hold on. He had it for a second, but couldn't bring it down. Nearly the play the Jaguars needed. Instead, 2nd and 30, still way backed up here, and to the outside, overthrowing Thomas, who looked like maybe he flailed on that to try to get a DPI call. Refs definitely not biting on that one. 3rd and 30, about a country mile here for the Jaguars. As they set up the halfback screen here, ETN, and he's going to pick up about 10 of the lost 20, down to the 39, about the maximum distance here for Cam Little, but they will bring him out. Can he nail this one? He's got the power, and it leaks on in, curving back just in time. Snuck in the bottom right corner. Jaguars claim their first lead of the game, make it 17-14, but now we get to see the Chargers for the first time this half. Terrific performance in that first half. Well, bottled up here as they're going to get the tackle credit to Mason Smith. Not a TFL, they get back to the line of scrimmage. And checking this one down, getting the catch is Dobbins. We haven't got to see much from him yet today. It's just been Gus Edwards out there. 3rd and 7. Herbert, he takes off immediately, and he's got the first down. These two quarterbacks battling out here, and both are looking pretty good. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. They get motion. That weak eye to Strong. Go with the power to the right-hand side, and he's corralled. Hines Allen there to help clean it up. It's a loss of 1 on 1st. They get 2nd and 11. 2 tight ends and the fullback out here as they go RPO and dropped McConkey. He heard the footsteps of the raging Jaguars coming in at him. 3rd and 11. Will be a spread look here for Herbert. Throwing downfield, and Ringo gets a little bit lucky. He jumped too soon, but the ball's dropped. Palmer had a great play on their first drive, but that one will cost them this drive. They will be forced to punt. Our offense can come back out, coming off a really good drive, took the lead. Only negatives were our own holding calls. Start with Etienne. He looks to bounce it. Good job from the linebacker, keeping an eye on him. Limits that one to just a gain of 3, brings up 2nd and 7. They go play action, rolling right side, receiver downfield. That is caught DeGuara, and he's out of bounds at the 45. You can't forget about the tight ends here in Jacksonville. Of course, their new head coach. He's one of the league's best tight ends from just not that long ago. Quick throw and off the mark for Kirk. Put that one in front like Lawrence was trying. Catch on the run, and Kirk is going to pick up a big gain. Instead, we got a 2nd and 10 here. Run to the left-hand side following the block of Ingram. Big hit, Derwin James. But Etienne will use that hit to pick up the first down. At the 35, it's a tight look here, just one receiver out on the field. They go right side, caught by Brenton Strange, and he's got another first. Jags doing a great job of keeping this defense guessing. We head to the fourth quarter, 17-14, Jags in front and moving. But we've still got a whole quarter to go. Spread empty look here for Lawrence. They don't get the one-on-one they were looking for, so Lawrence goes to scramble, and he can't break away. Trips on the last defender. But it's a 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. Just on the outside of the 10, they have about a half yard to go before the goal line. They could get a fresh set. Motion here, Ingram, right to left, handing this one off, Etienne. And he can't get by Khalil Mack, and Josiah DeGuara shaken up on that play. Both Etienne and Mack fell down on top of him, and he's going to head to the tunnel. So that might limit some of our 3 tight end sets to finish off this game. 2nd and 9, trying to finish off this drive. We don't get the double to backer we needed. Etienne just able to pick up one. It brings up a 3rd and 8. We do have 2 tight ends to the right-hand side here, 1 receiver on either side. Lawrence dropping back to throw, and open is Evan Ingram. Jaguars, they claim a 2-score lead in the 4th. And the pressure is on here for Herbert, as his Chargers team has not scored in this second half. They need to find 10 points just to tie. They go the run to the outside. Edwards finds a cutback lane. He picks up 2. And definitely seems like the play throughout this game. Jaguars have learned a little bit here about this Chargers defense, and they're starting to close things down. 2nd and 8. Herbert, he's got screen set up, left-hand side, diving miss. Dobbins, he's spinning off of a tackle, still going, finally down at the 41. Seems like some of the biggest plays for the Chargers today has just been a Jaguars defender simply falling down before the play got to him. 1st and 10, still looking to pass this ball. Herbert to the outside, and Jones chops out McConkey. Keeps that gain to a minimum and keeps this clock rolling as we're inside 5 minutes. Plenty of time here in the NFL to make things happen. Motion on the right-hand side. They're going back to the screen. Dobbins working to the outside. Another bad tackle attempt from Ringo. Lloyd, he misses. Johnson finally brings him down. He's down to the 24. So a slight switcheroo here late at running back is sparking life to the team. Edwards checks in, and he's down quickly. Johnson, he'll pick up the TFL loss of 2. Hasn't always been the cleanest tackler, but that time he does. 2nd and 12 downfield, and it's a touchdown for Ladd McConkey. They've kind of picked on Ringo downfield today, and they get a key touchdown. With 3:43 left in the league's best run game, can the Chargers pick up the next stop that they need? Still down a field goal. Starting back in shotgun, handing this one off. Etienne doesn't pick up the block from the pulling guard. Chargers, they win play 1, but this clock is rolling. Down inside 5 seconds, and end around goes Gabe Davis. He's going to pick up at least some, shakes off 1, but he breaks the tackle, gets shoved backwards, and he's going to lose a total of 3 rather than the gain of 6. And if that's not enough, he's also going to head off the field. It looked like he was testing out that shoulder. A huge missed opportunity here for the Jaguars. They come out with a spread empty look here. And under pressure and sacked Emmanuel Ogbah. They try to set up the screen. It was covered. They'll take the loss and punt it away to the Chargers, who will try to tie this game. And the Jags do not help themselves out. An awful punt gives the Chargers the ball plus side as they look to throw the ball downfield and caught McConkey. They're going after Ringo. And with the game hanging in the balance, it looks like they're making the change. Darby comes out. Ringo heads to the sideline. 1st and 10. Armstead forces the roll, finding the dump off to Palmer. 1st down at the 14. Chargers set up for a late game comeback here due to a blown opportunity on the Jaguars' offensive side. A bad punt, and Gus not wanting to go down. He takes a few shots. Looks like he was staying down, but a penalty comes in, and it is holding. Coach Boston will accept that, and we see Dobbins come out here the next play, so perhaps Edwards a little bit shaken up. 1st and 20. And a diving swat, Devin Lloyd. He tried to find Hayden Hurst, had a touchdown earlier. Doesn't have the opportunity to catch that one. Herbert makes a change here. They go spread empty, trips left side, 2 to the right. With a quick throw back across the middle, it is Hayden Hurst with a short gain. But all the Chargers need here is a field goal to tie. We're inside a minute 20. 3rd and 14. They pass to the outside and dropped by Hayden Hurst. It will be Dicker the kicker to tie this game. And Ringo now out here on the edge of the special teams. Can he make the play? No, he won't. Tie ball game. About a minute and 10 seconds left. Lawrence led a great drive pre-halftime. Can he do the same here? They start back at the 29. Trips to the left-hand side, and Lawrence is making some changes out there. Must see something in coverage that he likes. Or doesn't like. Throws that one off the face of Robinson. Pressure was bearing down on him. Will be incomplete. Coming out here spread yet again. Motion right-hand side. Lawrence. As they try to set up the halfback screen, and the pass off the mark for Duvernay. A critical down here. 3rd and 10. It's been 2 incomplete passes. Can the Jaguars convert? As they look for Kirk, it's into the turf before it even gets to him. They'll have to punt. Chargers with an opportunity to find the winner. Well, this time they'll have to travel a little bit further. Starting back at the 37. Herbert's coming out here changing things up. He sends trips to the left-hand side. Palmer playing tight end to the right. And going across the middle, he finds 9. DJ Chark with a couple grabs in this one. Makes a 2nd and 3. They do call their first timeout. Herbert looks to scramble, and he gets the 1st down, though not by much. They go hurry up right thereafter. Get this one out to Hayden Hurst. Looked his way often that last drive. Continuing with the hurry up here. They still have 2 timeouts inside 15 seconds, approaching 10 seconds. Herbert, he looks to scramble. He's got field goal range. They call their 2nd timeout. And it'll be about a 52-yarder for Dicker the kicker. 7 seconds left, and he's sending it down the middle. But they kicked it too soon. It leaves the Jaguars with one last play to try to make something happen. And it's not a Hail Mary attempt here either. Lawrence making up a custom play here to try to keep their season alive, and the hit comes in. Chargers storm back in the 4th quarter, and they end the Jacksonville Jaguars season. At one point in this second half, Jaguars were up by 2 scores. They could not complete a key conversion, and with that, they found their way back to the couch. Though, there's a lot to like from what Coach Boston did with this team after coming in. Lawrence threw for 217 yards, 2 touchdowns. ETN averaged about 5 yards a carry, 68 yards. Lawrence 71 more yards rushing and a touchdown. Eric Armstead picked up 3 TFLs, 2 for Trayvon Walker, and we had a total of 2 sacks. Man, did I think we were going to win that game. We just came up a little bit short, but as mentioned, I'm extremely happy with where this team got to, and it also is in our favor that depending on how the offseason goes, we're competing with the likes of Tennessee Titans, the Colts, Texans. They're an interesting team. I feel like they're a lot better built team than how they performed here in season 1. But we're not competing in division against the Buffalo Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Chargers, all of these really good teams. We have a really easy conference, so I think we could make it back to the playoffs with a couple changes that we plan to do next time. But before we get there, let's just wrap it up here with the season stats. Trevor Lawrence, and this is including 7 games of which was before we got here with Coach Boston. Trevor Lawrence, 3,500 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 61% complete, and he did miss some times with some injuries. Rushing, Travis Etienne, he was close to hitting that 1,200 mark, 9 touchdowns for him. Lawrence ran the ball in 7 more times with about 700 rushing. Receiving, Christian Kirk, 864, 2 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., a fantastic rookie year. Hopefully he sees some accolades with 8 touchdowns, 641 yards. Evan Ingram, 624 and 7 touchdowns. Gabe Davis, he kind of got lost in the shuffle with us. He had a better performance under the previous regime of Doug Pederson. He had 5 touchdowns at that point. I don't know if he had any touchdowns while we were in charge, maybe 1 or so last episode. Blocking wise, this is a group that's going to see a lot of change, but of the group we had, they performed very, very well. I imagine Harrison will be taking over the left tackle spot from Robinson as he looks to move on from the Jags. Defensively, Oluwakin, we really could have used him in that playoff game, and that might have helped us out across the middle. He finished just shy of 100 tackles. TFL leader is Trayvon Walker, 22 times in the backfield, 13 for Hines Allen and 11 for Mason Smith. Now, we didn't see much from Hines Allen during our time out there, and we'll see what the plans are with him in the offseason. Walker also leads us in tackles with 12, doubling that of Hines Allen. Eric Armstead, 5.5. Does he stick around? We'll find out. Interception leader goes to Jerrion Jones as well as Tyson Campbell. I think the cornerback group will be solid for years to come. And then we'll finish off here with Cam Little, who hit 72%, the 100% of his extra points. But next time we will go through the entire offseason, starting with the end of this season, see who won the Super Bowl, make some plans, and I don't imagine we're going to do anything too crazy, though, depending on what opens up. We might make some big trades, move some players on, and bring in some key assets, because again, we're in the AFC South. This is a team that you can very much battle and make the playoffs with a losing record. So make sure you stick around to see what happens next time. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series, every single Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we got college football with a Cardinal franchise as that series has started a new season. So make sure you check it out over there. And we'll be back next time for a little bit more of a laid back overhauling of the Jags.